This reaction is brought to you by my $5 or more patrons at patreon.com/AlexHeitz. I'd like to thank Steve Aldersley, Andreas Glacial, Ray Schuster, at HotGirlVideo69 on Twitter, Identitech, Kurt David, Mark Ventura, Mason Frost, Matthew McLaughlin, M. DeBelly, Will E., Will G., Alan Lyons, B. Jabber, David Mannion, Ewan Reed, James Hanley, and Livitz for sponsoring this video, supporting me, my family, the channel. I appreciate it more than you know, and I hope you all enjoy the video. Hello everyone, welcome. This is a poll album that we're doing today. So we're going to be doing Come On Pilgrim, Pixies EP, and then we'll finish off the Pixies. And we're also going to do the Chronic Town EP for REM, and I'll probably record those in a single session. I don't know how I'm going to upload them or when I'll upload them, how I'm going to work that out. But before we get to that, we have this poll album, poll number 26, not 25, 26. And as you can see on the thing here, Primal Scream is the winner here. Massive Attack and Nirvana kind of did okay. Tribe Called Quest not as much. Only 14 votes on this one, and I have 28 patrons, so half of my patrons are voting. Guys, what are you doing? If you guys want to vote in these polls, you got to join the Patreon. So yeah. The album we are doing today is from Primal Scream. Should be very interesting. For those who don't know, I do unedited reactions at my Patreon, patreon.com/AlexHeitz. For $5 a month, you can get access to all of my unedited reactions from Modest Mouse going forward. That is around, I think, 50 albums. I started doing this in, I think, April of 2021. Yeah, it's almost 50 albums at this point. I do them unedited, and the patrons part of the funding for the Vimeo hosting, where I have to host these unedited reactions because YouTube is a copyright wasteland. That goes to help support the Vimeo to be able to provide you guys the unedited reactions. So you also get a shout out at the front of the video, or if you just want to hop in at $1 a month, also highly appreciated. And it lets you vote in polls such as these, which decide which albums I do. You know, every 2 to 4 albums through an artist discography, we'll do a poll album to kind of break up the monotony. And that's what's happening today. So if you guys want to hop in and support me and my family and the channel, that would be the place to do it. You can also check out NordVPN, link in the description. They called out to me and said, hey, do you want to be an affiliate? And I'm like, sure. Been using them for several years now. Encrypt your data, access content not available in your country. Just fantastic stuff. Got great pricing, great speeds, just honestly like the go-to VPN in my opinion. And so check out the link in the description if you would like to hop in on that as well. Okay, so Screamadelica, Primal Scream. So I had heard Movin On Up several years ago, really fun track. Got that nice Manchester vibe, a little dancey as well. That's about it. I may have heard one other track from this album. I could be wrong. I don't know. Let me see. Because there's Come Together, Higher Than the Sun. Did I do any of these for... No, I don't think I did any of these for my top 10 singles. Moving On Up is number 31. Yeah, so I don't think I heard any other tracks from this album before. It has Bobby Gillespie on vocals, obviously one of the... was he a guitarist or a drummer? He did drums for Jesus and Mary Chain from 84 to 86. So basically just Psycho Candy, I guess. Yeah, I don't really have a whole lot to say about this one. 11 tracks, 62 minutes, kind of longer dance stuff here. I'm interested to finally get this one done, though, because I've heard good things about it. I'm not sure if it'll be my thing or not, because I know that the other tracks aren't really like Moving On Up, so... I guess we'll just have to see what we got here, huh? So yeah, let's start with the first track, Moving On Up. And there it is. Just a fun track, you know. It's kind of boppy. It's got that like gospel vibe to it. Um, I like the acoustic guitar, the rhythm guitar, and that's nice. Yeah. Okay. So I think this is uncharted territory now. We'll see if I recall any of these other tracks or not, because I feel like I may have tried to listen to this album at some point, but I don't know if I did or not. So let's go with the next track, Slip Inside This House. Well, intriguing. Um, the production was a little like muddy. I don't know if that was just me. Uh, it was interesting, like acid house thing going on there. Um, I liked the vibe. Kind of sort of chill. Maybe a bit. I wouldn't say redundant, but like just a bit long for how little it did. But it was fine. It was fine. I don't have a whole lot to say against it. I wasn't expecting that kind of a shift from moving on up so suddenly. And I don't think that I've heard that one before, so hopefully this is all uncharted territory here. All right, Don't Fight It, Feel It with Denise Johnson. Who is Denise Johnson? Uh, Someone? Who is Denise Johnson? Does anyone know? A person? A person who died in 2020? What are her credits? She did some vocals on Electronic. That's where I know her from. Also probably no New Order, just Electronic. Okay, never mind then. Anyway, Don't Fight It, Feel It. Well. That was good. I like that one more than Slip Inside this house. Um, the little like doot, 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 what would that be? It almost sounded like a whistle or like a bug. I don't know what that was. I'm sort of out of it today. I apologize. That got a little bit annoying, but Denise Johnson had a nice presence on there. Percussion was fun. Production, I think, was better on this than Slip Inside This House. It didn't feel as muddy. Yeah, that was enjoyable. Enjoyable. It's it's interesting. Like, I'm not super into dance music generally, like for the dance part of it. Enjoy it because I usually enjoy it because it's fun. Some dance tracks I think are just like overly repetitive and not that interesting, and the groove isn't that good. This isn't some of the best dance I've heard, but it is enjoyable. It is enjoyable, and like I said, the percussion has been pretty on point so far. Um, anyway, next track, Higher Than the Sun. Okay. Really interesting production on that one. Uh, and the vocals, I like how they were almost kind of like not I wouldn't say they weren't atonal. They were more like it was just kind of weaving in and out of like being in key. And it kind of just felt sort of like slithery in that way, which was pretty cool. That might be my favorite so far, actually. That was interesting. Interesting. I think that's kind of be what this album is going to be like for me. There aren't going to be any like because I love a great melody. Like that's the first thing that jumps out to me is like good melody, or really like dynamic, satisfying chords. And dance music typically doesn't have that. But it's all like I said, it's always entertaining to listen to. So I'm gonna probably find this album more like intellectually interesting and compelling than emotionally, if that makes sense. But that's fine. That's kind of how it was a little bit with sometimes with New Order, until they kind of got into more of like I don't know. By the time Low Life hit, I was getting more into like the New Order headspace, which is why like Power Corruption and Lies wasn't among my favorite New Order albums because it was a little more rigid. Um, this has a good balance of like that Manchester to dance aspects to it. Um, although it's not really comparable to Stone Roses, but some of the percussion is. Anyway, I'm just rambling. Inner Flight. Fascinating. Wow. Um, odd. A lot like basically instrumental. Um, it was very interesting. It was pretty cool actually. It did really it was, like I said, very odd. Very captivating though. I don't have a lot to say about it because it kind of took me by surprise. All right, Come Together. Is this the third Come Together song that I've heard? Wasn't there one on Spiritualized? Because you obviously have the what is it? The Beatles, and then was there one on Ladies and Gentlemen? There was. So this will be the third Come Together song I have heard. Let's see what we got.
Come together, all
Wow. Um, I think it was a bit too long, like a little repetitive in the last maybe 2 or 3 minutes. But possibly, like aside from that, maybe one of my favorites. I enjoyed the melody, that finger picked guitar. Um, yeah, that's solid. That's solid. I don't got any problems with that aside from maybe a bit long. Um, I feel like the album's like aside from moving on up, it's kind of just getting like better as it's going. So we'll see what Loaded is like next, track number 7.
Just what is it that you want to do?
Well, we want to be free. We want to get loaded. And we want to have a good time. And that's what we're going to do.
Just what is it that you want to do?
Wait, baby, let's go.
Is it that you want to do?
We want to get loaded. And we want to have a good time.
You want to get loaded. Okay, so that the intro to that sounded a little familiar. I don't know why I would have heard that at some point. Maybe it was on this channel. Who knows? Um, it kind of like "Don't Fight It, Feel It," and to some extent, "Slip Inside This House." Um, there's something about it that's just like a little too not energetic. It's kind of a plateau of energy. So for it to be like 7 minutes long, it's just kind of whatever. But like also like I'm not critiquing like any of these tracks based on their length because I know they're dance tracks, if that makes sense. Um, I'm coming at this from more of like a pop sensibility, which I know isn't completely fair. Um, it's just the way I feel. But like, I didn't feel like there was enough dynamicism in that track to warrant its length. Similar to Come Together. I like Come Together more than Loaded. But I did enjoy the percussion and the horns in this. That was a lot of fun. A few interesting production notes here and there. And it's like I'm not like bored. Like I don't really get bored with many of these. It's really just towards like the end, honestly, that I kind of start to feel it drag a little bit. So yeah, that was Loaded. Next one is Damaged.
Just you and me, I was doing damage. I lost myself in you. I feel inside, made me feel I got damage. I lost myself in you. I never felt so happy.
Well, golly. Not bad, not bad. A more like straightforward, almost like ballad sounding kind of track. Um, I don't like Gillespie's vocals. How do I say this? Like, I don't love them. Um, I think they work well on the dancier tracks, like Moving On Up. Higher Than the Sun was really interesting in the vocal department. Something like this, though, the vocals just don't really work. It seems a little cringy. It's also a little like, I wouldn't say melodramatic, but just kind of like a little sappy, I guess. But as like a, an instrumental, the actual songwriting, not bad. Not bad. I don't have really any complaints on that one. Yeah, it seems like this middle chunk has been sort of my favorite so far. Like Higher Than the Sun, Inner Flight, Come Together, Loaded was all right, Damaged was interesting. Yeah, let's keep trucking. We have 3 tracks left. I'm Coming Down. Wow. Um, who was that was like a saxophone? Who did that? I don't see that anywhere on the like personnel for the album. Who did that? That can't have been just like a keyboard, right? Oh, am I crazy? That was solid. I liked the vibe of that one. Um, would I say it's too long? No, I think it was okay. Really compelling. The song structure and the surprising like shifts in tone, I guess, have been really fascinating. It has not been a boring album. I will say that much. It's not super dancey. It's a little bit more just in like that Manchester with like a psych aspect to it sort of vein. But it's been very chill for the most part. I would say like Moving On Up, Slip Inside This House, maybe Come Together, maybe Loaded have been the more dancier ones. Don't Fight It. Like it's been very chill, very chill. Ambient dub, so to speak. I don't know. Is dub considered just kind of relaxed? I don't think so. So now we have Higher Than the Sun, a dub symphony in 2 parts. So is this like a remix of Higher Than the Sun? We'll find out. Well, at the same time, it's probably one of my least favorites on here. Um, but I liked it. I, I I don't know, like these are the kind of tracks that like I don't come back to listen to a lot, but like it was very entertaining and I loved all the different phrases and sections. There's a lot of cool production elements in it. Um, Interesting, like kind of dub thing with Jawabble on it. Okay. Last track, everyone. Shine Like Stars.
Watch you sleep, you look so peaceful. You look so very like a star. Shine. I watch you dance, you look so happy. Like a star.
Oh, someone always has to flush while I'm recording. It happens every single time. Okay. So that was very nice. I liked the like almost what'd you call it? Accordion sound on there. It sounded more like a keyboard, not an actual accordion, but you know, what do I know? Um yeah, so overall, Screamadelica, this is a good album. This is a good album. There's not really anything on here that I think is like downright bad. Least favorites are probably Slip Inside This House just because of the production. Higher Than the Sun just because like I probably won't return to that even though there are elements in there I liked. Damaged I wasn't super big on. Loaded was solid in a way. Highlights, Moving On Up, Higher Than the Sun, Inner Flight, Come Together, I'm Coming Down, and Shine Like Stars. Yeah, this, I think I'm going to need to like process this one a little bit. For those who don't know, I do follow-ups to my album reactions like 2 to 4 weeks after I listen to it, and just kind of give the song's ratings and kind of talk about how I feel after the dust has settled. And I think I'll need some time with this one because it had a good amount of variety. While still, like, it wasn't like Deserters songs that I listened to recently where it's just there's tonal whiplash all over the place, which can happen on psychedelic records because they're very like progressive in their track listing tone. But this was more or less cohesive. It kind of stayed true to its foundations and elements here. Yeah. I think my least favorite part was Gillespie's singing. Like I said, it works decently on the energetic dance tracks, but something that's a little more like softer, like Damaged or Shine Like Stars, it just doesn't fit that well. And it kind of brings those tracks down a tiny bit, unfortunately, even though I kind of liked what the tracks themselves were doing. Yeah. That's pretty much it. I think that's Screamadelica in the bag, so to speak. Solid album, like I said, not super dancey. Few dance tracks here and there, but I think the Psych and the Manchester angle is maybe a little bit more of an accurate description. But Screamadelica, good, solid stuff. Okay, everyone. That is it. That is the album. Pull album has been completed. We'll be moving on to Pixies, Come On Pilgrim, and then finally getting into REM. Really excited about that. Eager to finally listen to Murmur after all these years. So should be fun stuff. Things to plug yet again. Of course, we have the Patreon, patreon.com/AlexHeitz. Link in the description for that. Again, $1 a month access to voting in these polls, $5 a month, and unedited reactions. Then we also have to plug the Discord, link in the description for that. Got about 175 members over there. Have a lot of fun talking about music discussions. We share memes, recommendations, share our top charts and stuff like that. So if you want to join the community of people who like to watch me listen to things, that's the place to do it. That's all I got for you guys. I hope you are all doing well. Yeah, getting back into the swing of live streams. I was gone for a week, vacationing in Texas, but I am back now, back in the swing of things, feeling good. Yeah, nothing new to update here. So I'm just going to go ahead and head out. Thank you all so much for watching, and Godspeed.